the country requires austerity on the part of everybody to face the current situation. However, that did not deter BOC from extending its services to the dear customers who have withstood numerous turbulent times over the past. It was the same during these most turbulent times as well. Bank of Ceylon stood up to the challenge, and we managed to assist our customer base, which by far is the largest in the country. And a very apt theme has been selected by the marketing consultants, named BOC at 82, Strength and Stability.
Industry giant state-owned Bank of Ceylon yesterday formally announced stellar financial results for the first half, which have overtaken the performance of 2020 full year, reinforcing that the slew of recent measures amidst challenges had paid off. Profit before tax in the 6 months ended the 30th of June 2021 amounted to 27.1 billion rupees, up by 291% from the corresponding period of last year. The end June result confirms BOC has already surpassed the 2020 full year pre-tax profit of 27 billion rupees in just 6 months of the current year. The 2021 performance to date comes on the back of an exceptional year in 2020, and BOC Chairman Kanchanaratwatte and senior management said yesterday a host of strategic and bold NJ initiatives both in 2020 and so far in 2021 had further strengthened the bank. After-tax profit rose by 282% to 22 billion rupees. Operating profit before taxes on financial services was 32.5 billion rupees as against 8.9 billion rupees, and after VAT, the figure was 27.1 billion rupees. Total assets rose by 11% to cross the 3 trillion rupees mark to 3.3 trillion rupees. BOC said, demonstrating its strength, agility and strategic approach in facing the challenges caused by the low interest rate scenario, higher non-performing advances due to the COVID hit economy and operational restrictions. The bank was able to increase both its fund-based and fee-based income during the year. As a result of the loan growth of 28% gained in 2020, this year's interest income went up by 12% to 121.9 billion rupees by end June. In 2020, BOC made the industry's highest disbursement under Saubhagya working capital loan scheme amounting to 39 billion rupees via 18,936 facilities. BOC said the main contributive portfolios were overdraft, term loan, scheme loan and personal loan. Interest expense declined by 9% to 70.4 billion rupees, in line with the increase in CASA ratio to 35% from 32% 1H2020, and repricing the deposits at lower rates. BOC said the two-way movement in interest income and interest expense positively contributed to net interest income (NII) of the bank, and NII has increased by 64% to 51.5 billion rupees over that of 1H2020. Non-fund-based income of the bank grew by 61% YOY basis, and the main contributors were fee and commission income and exchange income. Fee and commission income received a boost with the operationalizing of business activities under a new normal scenario. The key component of the fee and commission income is the transactional banking-related fee and commission income, which showed a YOY growth of 28%. During the period under concern, the Sri Lankan rupee depreciated by 8%, resulting in an exchange gain of 6.5 billion rupees. Impairment charge for loans and advances for the period amounted to 13 billion rupees, bringing the loan to impairment provision reserve ratio to 6%. On YOY basis, impairment charge decreased by 11% as incremental NPA during the 1H2021 is lower than NPA increment compared to corresponding period of the previous year. NPA ratio stood at 4.7% against 5.4% reported by end June 2020. However, when calculating the impairment charge, BOC said it always follows a very prudent approach. Given the high degree of uncertainty and extraordinary circumstances in the short-term economic conditions mainly caused by the continuous disruptions to businesses, the bank made additional expected loss provision using management overlays on identified risk-elevated industries and adjusting the economic factor reasonably and adequate enough to cover unseen risk factors in the uncertain and highly volatile environment. In 2020, BOC's moratorium provided for facilities valued at over 550 billion rupees during the first pandemic wave and over 250 billion rupees during the second pandemic wave. BOC ensured that the benefits accruing to it through the extraordinary measures introduced by CBSL in its policymaking initiatives trickled down to the ultimate beneficiaries, customers, through moratoriums and concessionary loan schemes, officials said. While recording healthy financial results, BOC continued to focus on ensuring that the integrity of the country's banking sector, including payment and settlements, continued without interruption, while aiding the country in its economic revival, through SME and local entrepreneurship development, they added. BOC's operating expenses of 18.8 billion rupees, up by 23.6%, consists of personnel cost, assets maintenance, deposit insurance and other overhead expenses. The bank's cost-to-income ratio of 31% shows the prudent and effective cost management mechanism adopted by the management. During the 1H of 2021, BOC's total assets grew by 11% and reached the 3.3 trillion rupees level, preserving its industry leadership. The key contributive factor is growth in loans and investment books, which denotes about 93% of the assets of the bank. The bank's gross loan book surpassed 2 trillion rupees mark during the year 2020 and now stands at 2.5 trillion rupees, reporting 16% growth during 1H 2021, mainly backed by growth in overdrafts, term loans and personal loans. BOC's deposit base during the year has increased to 2.6 trillion rupees. The bank's deposit base represents 35% of current and saving deposit (CASA) base, which generates funds at low cost. The bank's Tier 1 capital and total capital ratio stood at 11.5% and 15.0% respectively as of end June 2021, which were above the regulatory norms. In spite of cash flow deferments in loan installments, the bank was able to maintain better trade-off between the liquid assets and its liabilities. All liquid level monitoring ratios were well kept up.
Actually, the feasibility studies have been done for so many places, but the status right now, because that means a remittance outside, we'll have to take our diversion of funds from here to an overseas branch. The timing is not right. But we have definitely done feasibility studies and also made contacts and made all the inquiries. We'll do that no sooner that the time becomes conducive.